Hello, my name is Joel Langford. I am a certified body talk practitioner and also a PaRama BodyTalk practitioner. The subject I'd like to talk about today is about spiritual development and spiritual injury. Over the last year, I've seen a number of clients in my practice that I have to characterize as a spiritual injury. And I'll explain that. So those of us who are on an enlightenment journey, so we have exercises, if you would, much like lifting weights. If we're an athlete and we lift weights a lot, or we run really hard, if we overdo it, we get injured. That's kind of interesting. So we'll pull a muscle or we'll overstress our heart and lungs and we'll feel awful for several days. And what it really means is that we stressed ourselves too much and injured ourselves. For people who engage in spiritual exercises, and for the most part that has a lot to do with breathing exercises such as pranayama, although there's all sorts of breathing exercises, and moving energy up and down the spine or sushumna, depending upon how you want to think about it. If we're trying to push energy, push kundalini energy up, then sometimes we, if you would, over-exercise. And it's sometimes fabulous because we actually achieve those states of consciousness that we're seeking. Okay, you'll have some revelatory moments as far as your perception of what's going on in the world, including oral perceptions, tactile perceptions, visual perceptions, and sometimes even an opportunity to experience a samadhi for a while where you don't really have the same sort of five senses perceptions that our normal life consists of. And that, of course, is what a lot of these, what you, if you're a spiritual aspirant, are looking for, is development. Unfortunately, if you push the envelope too hard, there can be uncomfortable repercussions. So the things that you're doing as you move your energy through breathing exercises or moving energy up, moving the kundalini up the sushumna, is actually scrubbing and eventually eliminating little filters that keep you from experiencing these levels of consciousness. If you're over successful, it also starts to affect the way your body mind actually manifests. So you may be experiencing a number of different things like a complete inability to sleep, inability to concentrate, or inability to do anything other than meditate, cognition changes, which leaves you unable to function in the real world, what we call the real world, sensory overwhelm, disorientation, displacement, digestive problems, cardiac problems, breathing problems. The clients that I've had in this last year that have presented with these issues have all been spiritual aspirants working very hard. Unfortunately, if you would, it was like an overtraining injury. But these overtraining injuries sort of don't go away. Once you've removed the filter, off we go on to a new level. So if you find yourself with this sort of problem, I can, and I think other PaRama BodyTalk practitioners can help you with this. PaRama BodyTalk is focused on the intersection of how the brain functions, how our energetic system functions, and how consciousness functions. They're all parallel systems and they have a very intimate relationship with each other. When we remove filters from the base of our consciousness in what I think of and we think of as Ganesh, then we permit energy, consciousness, to go blasting through our energetic systems and our brain, the base of the brain. Base of the brain actually manages many of the functions that I just talked about, digestion, ability to pay attention, reticular activating system, the brainstem, breathing, heart in the medulla and pons, and you'll find these things going goofy on you. And you'll also probably have some cognition changes. In PaRama BodyTalk, we can roll the clock back to pre-injury state, reestablish those those filters that were necessary for you, you weren't quite ready to remove those yet, even though you did. And your symptoms will most likely go away. I've had success with all of the clients that showed up with spiritual injury. And they went on to continue their spiritual practice, perhaps just a little bit less energetically, but nevertheless, they're still successful spiritual aspirants. If you would like to help develop your spiritual journey, BodyTalk, PaRama BodyTalk particularly, is quite helpful. It helps order and regulate and focus your exercises. I would love to see you, whether you're just simply on a spiritual journey or if you are experiencing some of these discomforts related to your spiritual exercises. If you'd like to try out PaRama BodyTalk, go ahead and give me a call. I'm at 406-529-2190. I'd love to be able to work with you on your journey.